We're going to play a tune that uses the D chord and this new down and upstroke idea, and it also has an A chord in it. So this is the first time we're going to have to actually switch chords from one chord to another. So keep an eye out for when that happens in the tune, and during the breakdown I'll spend some time giving you some ideas on how you can practice switching between chords quickly. Here's how the tune sounds. Okay, so this tune is basically another 8-bar tune, but we play through it 2 times. So the whole thing is 16 bars long. And within the 8 bars, you spend the first 2 bars on D, playing down, up on 1 and 2 and, like this. And then holding that chord throughout the rest of the first bar and the second bar. So the count is like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you do that again. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That gets you to the end of measure 4. Then you change to an A chord and do the same strum but on 5 strings for the A chord, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That gets you to the end of measure 6. And then in measure 7 and 8, you repeat the first 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you repeat all of that for the next 8 bars. So it's really just the strum on the D, repeat that, strum on A, go back to D, and then do the whole 8 bars again. The main thing here, besides this new down and upstroke strum, is making the switch between D and A and back again. I want to show you 2 different ways that you can work on that. The first is an extension of this idea of the lifting and dropping, or the pressing and dropping, that we've been doing to learn an individual chord. You can use that to work on switching between 2 chords as well, like this. First, just brush up by making sure you can lift and drop the one chord, and then go over and form the other chord and make sure you can lift and drop that one. And when you can, then you basically switch between the 2 chords that way. You lift and you lift off of the D chord, and you form that A chord in the air and drop it down. Then you lift up, and you get that D chord ready, and you drop it down on the D. Now, if that's really not happening for you yet, I want to show you another way that works just as well, and that I use all the time. If you look at the D chord, you'll see that your index finger is playing the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. When you're playing an A chord, your index finger is also playing the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So when you're switching back and forth, that note is going to stay the same, and you can build both chords around that finger. You do have to slide that finger back just a little bit on the string for the A chord to fit everything in, but it's basically staying in one place. Now your ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string for the D chord, and it's on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string for the A chord. So it's really just sliding back and forth. So to go from D to A, just making this slide, that's 2/3 of what you need to do, which leaves just the middle finger. Here it is on the high string. It needs to go all the way over here to the 4th string, but it's staying on the 2nd fret in both cases. So you're really just moving this finger from the 2nd fret on the high string to the 2nd fret on the 4th string. Meanwhile, you're doing this slide. So to come from D to A, lift the middle finger off, slide your ring finger back, and bring the middle finger down over on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And you're done. your index finger will automatically slide back a little bit to make room as you're pushing down with these other fingers. To get back to the D chord, lift off the middle finger, slide up with your ring finger. Your index finger will kind of naturally travel along with it, and then put your middle finger down on the high string. So if you want to practice, the hardest part of this is just getting the second finger to bop back and forth between the high string and the fourth string like that. So try just holding down your index finger and making that move. Don't even worry about your ring finger. Then get the ring finger into the picture, sliding back and forth. So now it's not like you're waving around in the breeze with your fingers. You're really moving just a little bit, keeping everything, gripping the frets and the strings so you don't have to move around all that much. That's another way you can practice moving back and forth between D and A.